morning, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you are. This is ESPN's Down with Sports. And I am your host, Sarah. So, yeah, I know I've been on the hiatus for quite a while because I've made a move. You can tell I'm in a new space. In my office and my girlfriend's office, we got a little home gym. We're going to have a treadmill put in right over here, which is coming. Which is ready for pickup. And then we got a little art stuff over here for Kayla as well. So we are set to go. And you know what this means. Y'all ready in our place and settled in. So you don't know what that means. That's right. That is right. Down with Sports is now a daily show. A daily show. So starting today, we're doing this for a little bit within an hour for today, and then starting tomorrow starting tomorrow going forward, be 2 to 3 hours at least. 2 to 3 hours during the day. I will come up with a schedule and I will post that on my socials. I am having issues still with my ex because of my suspension I'm dealing with. So if you're our tech person, as long as my friend Jeremy is here, if you can help us, I'll get us unsuspended. That'd be helpful. So until then, I'm going to be posting on all my socials except for X, until that is back up. Once that is back up, I will let you know, as well as my tech guy Jeremy and my girlfriend Kira and ESPN. But anyway, I do have a lot to talk about. But first, I am going to have some more guests coming on, and I'll definitely guys give a thank you to the guy that's helping me out doing this. A guy named Ben Wilder. Ben. Let me make sure I got his name right. Make sure I see his name correctly. Well, women in Ashland. So Ben, Ashland Rotman, Ben. He's been really helping me out. Ashland Rotman's the guy that has been helping me out. Get my talent. Jeremy, he's the one who helped me get ideas I'm doing, and then Ashland Rotman talked with Evan Cohen. So we got Evan Cohen on. And yes, I am going to get Evan Cohen back on this show again. I know it's the summertime, so I know he's taking time off from work to be with his friends, his family, and loved ones. Hey, it is summertime, and that's not just, I know you have to work, but it's summertime, and I know everybody wants to get out, out and about, go on summer vacations, go on trips, see old friends, family, and loved ones. We're not as well. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that, but like I said, I'm out of job, on my state job, so I'll be doing this more often. And yes, I've been talking with Ben. He told Ashton, and hope Ben and Ashton will see this, because I want to thank them for giving me this, thank them for helping me out with all this stuff and supporting me with my show. With Down Sports. With ESPN Down Sports, of course. Because I gotta be careful when I see that with ESPN because of the country that I signed. But anyway, we got a lot to get into today in a very short amount of time as well. And let's do it. So here we go. And yes, I will get my ESPN Unlimited back. I gotta do some payment plan because I don't know how much money coming in at the moment, but I will be eventually. And yes, we do have a lot of blockbuster news going through. We have the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup going on. We are right out the knockout rounds as well. The USA men's plays tonight, actually. You see here. In the meantime, I'll figure that the timeout. Mm-hmm. Let me do it this way. College. Okay, well, I pulled that up. Let's talk a little basketball. We got a lot of trades been going on, and one of those is LeBron James. That's right, LeBron James. And let that go is no more. He is a free agent, and he is doing with to do with that trade and see where he's going to go. A lot of people are saying the Golden State Warriors. I can see that, but I can see him going back home to Cleveland and in his career at home. Because a lot of teams, a lot of NBA players have done that as well, going into the final or potentially the final year of their NBA sports career. Kobe Bryant did that, but of course he was a regular his entire career. Shaq did that, but he went with numerous teams. But I think Kobe Bryant, I think LeBron James will go back to Cleveland. I'm not totally certain, but I think he will. But I think that our talk, pretty much every team just about is beside, as well as the Warriors, are reaching out. And yes, I think that might happen actually. He'll become a Warrior. They got AD there with him and AD there together. There'll be a reunion of the Heat. That when they were playing with the Heat. Well, actually, when they're playing with the Lakers, actually, not bad. And of course, you gotta talk about the World Cup. Let me see where I got that. Okay, so it's according to Shams. Okay, we're going into Shams. I know I got a lot of news coming from Shams. Pretty important. So Shams Charania has broken news within that sort of breaking news. The Lakers are acquiring Walker Kessler from the Jazz as an unprotected first round picks for the 2031 and 33 first round swaps in 20 and 30. Sources to ESPN and Daily Sports. He will be signing a massive 4-year contract for $130 million deal with the Lakers. They also got Mitchell Robinson has agreed to a 3-year contract. Free agent Senator Mitchell Robinson has agreed for a 3-year contract, $47.4 million deal signed with the Boston Celtics, with a player option in the 3rd year, sources tell ESPN and Daily Sports. Free agency guard Javon Carter has agreed to a 1-year deal for $3.5 million deal to stay with the Magic of Orlando, which sources tell, of course, ESPN and Daily Sports. Carter has finished his career in Orlando and on a rotation wall. And a lot of these are coming in within the last hour or less, actually. The free agent, Mo Wagner, has agreed to a 2-year contract for $19 million with the Nets of Brooklyn, sources tell ESPN and Daily Sports. The deal contains a mutual option guaranteeing the $19 million while allowing other side to opt in or opt out, along with having a conversation about a new contract, but not this summer, but next summer. The free agency guard, Mike Conley Jr., has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Celtics, supposed to ESPN and Daily Sports. Conley becomes only the 14th player in NBA history to reach 20 years. But don't forget, LeBron James has been passed that year. LeBron James has surpassed 20 years in the NBA. He's going to his 25th year, I believe it is. LeBron James has been in the NBA since he was a teenager, just like Kobe Bryant did. Free agents and Bruce Joker, Nate Local Petrushka. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. I do apologize. He has, he's agreed to a 1 year deal with 3.9 million to return to the Magic, sources tell ESPN and Young Sports. He will, because he started his career there. He started in Orlando as a sophomore, spent 9 years with the Magic, and has mentioned a home there, and he turned down. Okay, well, that's how to do with the reunite, basically with the franchise. But anyway, we got a lot of free agency going on. Basically, free agency is wide open for the NBA. But I would do more of these on my shorts. I'll down sports shorts. Not shorts, down sports minute. Not sure we're going to name it out, when that's final. But yes, we have a lot of these coming through. Marcus Smart has agreed to a 2-year, $30 million deal with Houston Rockets. That's going to be good. Plus, the play option in the second year, ESPN and ESPN Sports for the Defensive Player of the Year. And that's just good. The Rockets got the Defensive Player of the Year. Could he do it again next year? Could he be a back-to-back winner? Just like the Thunder's Sanchez, the one that was back-to-back MVPs of the season, of the year. Okay, and of course we got baseball news going on. We got a lot of stuff going on with Mizorowski. We got a lot of talk going on there. Let me see what the passion I got from Jeff. Yes, Carlos Santana, not the guitarist, but Carlos Santana, the baseball player of the Atlanta Braves, has agreed to a minor league contract. Sources tell you in Young Sports of 40. Santana 40 will head to AAA, and he's been insurance for Atlanta. It definitely will be insurance for the Braves and can get back to the big leagues after being released by the Arizona D-back, by Arizona. The Chicago Bulls, not the Chicago Cubs, have acquired left-hander David Peterson from the Mets. ESPN sells sources tell ESPN and Down Sports. Okay, well, we're probably sure about this. Those are the most recent ones. Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce is buying a minority stake in his hometown Cleveland Guardians. He told ESPN, and of course, eventually I'll get it, so ESPN, as well as ESPN Daily Sports. That's right, Travis Kelce has bought a stake in the Cleveland Guardians. That's huge. Especially since we are not far away from his and Taylor Swift's wedding coming up. And looks like it's going to be at the Garden. And that is, Travis is the latest one to be a professional athlete to purchase the court in a professional sport. That goes to joining LeBron, James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chad Covington, and his Chiefs teammate Patrick Mahomes, of course, as well. And yes, I didn't talk about Giannis, actually, because this has been a hot topic in the last several months that I've been on hiatus. Giannis has gone to the Heat of Miami. I know I'm happy about it. I do like the Heat. I've been a fan. Of course, one of the biggest fans that I know besides myself, we all know him, Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike is a Miami Heat fan. And I know when that happened, he was definitely dancing and singing and glowing for sure. He was definitely glowing. And I would hope you see this. And now I'll share this with you. But anyway, Evan and Jim Rutledge of ESPN Madison's Molly and Jim and Molly, he's not a big fan of the Heat. Even though he had covered them for like a year or two, a couple of years back when he was working at ESPN Palm Beach, back in his beginning of his career of ESPN. Anyway, we got to get back into it. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is the Heat. With him and James Harden, could we possibly have even bigger chances of playoffs? No Tyler Hero is gone. They got no Tyler Hero in that trade. Hero is now part of the Milwaukee Bucks. Will Hero help the Bucks along with the players they have currently picked up within the trades and the free agencies? Could they do that? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, Instagram. I will upload this to Instagram and my X once that's back up, and of course, Facebook. So let me know in the comments on my socials on that as well. And of course, I am sad to see this, but we all know this already. But yes, we had a passing in NASCAR this past several months. Kyle Busch passed away. So I'm definitely praying for him and his family. His son Braston, they took his father's car, and put it away for now until he is ready to take over for his dad in his dad's car. And I think and I'm looking forward to it because the Busch family is a big family in NASCAR, along with the Earnhardts and the Pettys, whatnot. I actually met Cal Petty. That's right. I was in high school at the time. He was doing a promotional thing for safe driving. And I got to meet him. I got a cell phone number at the time. I called him. We just wanted to look on the race. Of course, the first thing I was working one night and he called me back. He was like, going to give a call. But he talked to my mother and I told him how great I am. And Cal Petty, if you see this, I would love to reach out to you again. Because I would love to see you again. And maybe have you even come on here on Dylan Sports. Come on here on ESPN Dylan Sports, of course. I'd love to have you on. Anyway, we got to get back into it. Let me see what I got. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And yes, and we had a lot of upsets this year in the FIBA World Cup. For sure. And of course, you get all your scores of the FIBA World Cup and times all your games of your team or your country on the ESPN Unlimited app. If you don't have that now, make sure you download that app now. I will. I already have it. I just need to get that back and running by making my payments. But anyway, I will do that eventually. But in the meantime, let's get back into it. And yes, Brazil. Norway beating Brazil this past Sunday with a 2-1 win. And it looks like Germany had suffered the first penalty shootout since defeat and since 1976 seal World Cup after the 1-1 draw. Yes, it happened. It happened again. It happened since. Anyway. If you want to follow it, okay, let's see. And yes, of course, I do always have news from Adam Schefter. Let's see here. They're talking about Thorsby. This is the guy that was Brandon Thorsby. He will not be pursuing a future legitimate. This is basically the Thorsby, the guy that was gambling on college sports and having that becoming I believe that's correct. But they said there was a memo sent out yesterday that the NFL team saying the NFLPA and Brandon Soulsby will not be pursuing any future. I don't know pronounce this word, but sorry, Litigat. I don't know why I say the word correctly. I do apologize for that. That of him entering the NFL, and that instead of Soulsby will focus on entering next year. He basically was trying to get into the NFL draft this year, even though he wasn't drafted. I believe he's trying to get into the supplemental draft. But I know they didn't do that. But he's going to do that next year. The Lions have announced that they will release their cornerback, Tyron Arnold. And the reason why they are doing that is because, according to a judge in Florida, that Tyron Arnold has faced charges of armed robbery and kidnapping, but denied prosecution's motion. And that he will be held without bond Monday. That was just the other day, 2 days ago. And of course, the former NFL running back Chris Johnson revealed on Good Morning America, of course, that he at age 39 he has been diagnosed with ALS. You all know ALS is basically losing bodily functions on a very slow speed. And then eventually gets to a point they cannot even speak. So he was using his eyes so he could speak with a robotic type voice. Somewhat. See here. Okay, looks like the Jaguars. Oh, this is 7 days ago, so let me go back here. All right, let me level with you here. Let me level with all my fans out there, our followers and everyone. And even Chris, the Mad Dog Russo, Evan Cohen, Stephen A. Smith, and everybody out there at ESPN. I got to love with you all. Yes, I love this job. I love it. I love doing my show with you all. But hey, I love doing it. And I've been listening to a podcast that I definitely want to recommend. I listened to the first few episodes of it. And I definitely don't recommend it. You pull up the name. I know what the name is. Oh, here we go. And the host of the show is Rich Eisen. The Rich Eisen show is called This Was Sports Center. I listened to the Chris Fowler. You got Chris Fowler. They got Lincoln Cohen. You have Mike Greenberg. They got Chris Bowman. They have Dan Patrick, and they have the introduction. So yes, I have watched the first couple of episodes already. So yes, I am looking forward to the rest of the season of season 1, and I am looking forward to season 2 once that comes out with Rich Eisen, which I also was on as well as the Pat McAfee show. Mm-hmm. And I know Pat McAfee's not on this week because the Wimbledon's going on. That's right, we got Wimbledon going on. Serena Williams came back, even though she lost her match yesterday. Here's another one I definitely recommend. I got a little bit of this one. I got to recommend this one. This is Sources Tell Jeff Passan's podcast as well. And Paul Feinbaum. If you watched the June 9th episode of Paul Feinbaum, yes, I was on the show as well. I gotta get that. It's just out of my work at East Spring Radio Madison, so I'll be shooting that to them soon. And I will be calling back in again because the topic I talk about is not as much as you want to talk about. So that in that particular episode, I was talking about the the pitch counts, the new pitch counts, and the new pitch system they're using in baseball, and see how they use that in women's sports for balls and strikes. And if the call has been, if it's a ball and it goes strike, or if it's a strike going ball, basically. But yes. Okay, all right, I can't mention this. I was going to bring this up on Feinbaum, but I'll bring this up here now before I go back into Feinbaum. I heard this on a podcast actually just the other day on the Locked On Network show, Locked On Bama, with Jimmy Steins and oh, that's right. It's the Locked On Bama. It's the Locked On podcast, Locked On Bama with Chris. Sorry about that. My tongue is tied here for a second. Yes, again, I'm going to try this again. Take your reading away. Anyway, so yeah, it's the Locked On podcast, Locked On Bama. It's Luke Robinson and Jamie Stein. They were talking about Alabama football. Of course, it's Alabama podcast, and they're talking about who's going to be the starting quarterback. And I really liked how they brought it up and mentioned how they were going to do it, because each option, obviously there's two quarterbacks again. This was just the other 2 days ago. I was listening to this podcast. But I love the fact that we're talking about how Alabama wants to play both the quarterbacks in one game, one against Western Kentucky. And let me look at the schedule real quick. Austin Weeds, Austin Weeds is one of them. Okay, I got a score, an FAA World Cup update. We got a 1-0 lead. COD versus EG, COD versus ENG. That's your World Cup update. That's right. It was Keelan Russell and Austin Mack. Yes, sir. They were talking about Austin Mack and Keelan Russell. And who was going to play? He said they're going to play the first 2 games. One was Kentucky. Let me see here. Where was it? I got to make sure I got it right. I wish I could get the right information that I get on my end for you guys out there, for y'all out there. And of course, I get my work, my notes and all that, but also on my ESPN app as well. So when I have Alabama, Alabama gets East Carolina first. And that's 11 o'clock game, 11 a.m. game. And then, so they wanted Austin Reeves to do that one. All right, I got to wrap this up soon. I got a therapy session coming up, so we're going to wrap this up, wrap a fire here. Anyway, we got Alabama ECU going at it. They want extra weeks to play that one, and or Killer Mac to play Kentucky. They're going to see who will be their quarterback going forward. After that, they want to use both quarterbacks going back and forth with those two games to see which way they want to go after those two games going forward for the rest of the season, going into conference play up in the SEC. And to summarize what I want to talk about today in the last 16 so minutes that I have left for today's episode, which I do apologize for the time crunch. Here we go. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it like this. Let me stand up for this, actually. All right, we got World Cup. We got football coming up. I know we're getting closer to the season. There's a lot of talk about Mr. Wowski. Let me know in the comments what you think about James Wowski, about the Miz. I think the Miz is going to be one of the next best things. And of course, like I said, next week is the All-Star break. I'm actually going to will be a All-Star next year. I mean, not this year, but this year, next week when we have the All-Star break. And of course, next Friday, make sure you follow me and my lady, Kayla, because we are going to be at a couple of golf outings coming up. We got the Jefferson Golf Society golf outing next Friday on the 10th. And yes, Stanley Sports, ESPN Stanley Sports will be there along with Glenn Collar Taylor and, of course, DSD couples as well. And you know what? We've got a lot of golf going on too as well. And Tiger Woods has been in the news lately. I know that. Not much of that though, but it has been. Again, I just do some rapid fire here for today's episode. Then I'll do a better one tomorrow. I promise I'll do a better episode tomorrow and a lot longer episode as well, starting tomorrow for that. I do apologize to wrap this up. But anyway, let me close this out. But first, we do need to talk about the fact that this week is the 4th of July. You know what that means? Barbecues, baseball. It's the 250th anniversary birthday of America. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday. And yes, hope everyone enjoys their 4th of July and make sure you be safe. And yes, if you're shooting up fireworks, make sure you have protective eyewear, protective clothing that you need to wear. If you're shooting up fireworks, the last thing you want is any kind of fatalities. But enjoy your weekends. I'll be back tomorrow. And we'll have more to talk about. I know that for sure, because sports is a 24-hour business. Hey, Sports Center was one of the first shows there was Sports Center was the birth of 24-hour sports talk. In Connecticut, Chris Eisen was part of that. Dan Patrick, a lot of Chris Bowman. There were a lot of those guys that started out and then moved on to bigger and better things as well. Rich Eisen got his own show. He came back to Sports Center for a while. Chris Bowman doing what he's doing. Chris Fowler doing what he does with college sports. Reese Davis, I think. I'm sure about but we got 10 minutes, so kind of dig it down a little. We do have some baseball games coming up right now, actually. So let me give you a rundown on games that are about to be underway. we have at 11:35 on MLB TV, we got the Sox and the Baltimore Orioles going at it. And we have at 12:35 as well the Yankees at home taking on the Tigers of Detroit at home. And yes, the Guardians are taking on the at 12:10, Guardians and the Rangers. Red Sox will take on the Nationals at 12:35. Cubbies at 1:20 against the Padres at home. And the Mets and the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays on ESPN Limited app and the MLB TV at 2:07 as well. The Brewers will take on the Reds tonight on ESPN and MLB TV. The Dodgers take on the Athletics tonight. D-backs and Giants tonight. Twins, Astros, Mariners, Rockies. And yes, the Rockies are not doing that. They're doing better, a little better, but they are still under 500 by 20 games. They're 20 games under 500. So that's not new for them. Eventually, it won't be long now, mathematically, that they will be eliminated from the playoffs. And I know that even from now, even though we not have yet gotten to the All-Star break, or even past that, or even near, even let alone near the trade deadline, because that's coming up as well. So yes, let's see here. You have the soccer coming out tonight, so make sure you watch the game. Team USA does play tonight at 7 o'clock, I believe it is. But check your local listings in your local channel in your area for Team USA soccer match tonight. And the next next NASCAR race will be this Sunday at 5. TNT simulcast GT HBO Max. And that's the NASCAR Cup Series at Chicagoland Speedway. So definitely looking forward to that as well. IndyCar is going on, and we got the Grand Prix at Mid-Ohio coming up. That race is on Fox at 11:30 on the 5th. So that's coming up this weekend as well. And we have the WNBA going on this way. We have the lady NBA for the ladies going on this year. And yes, Caitlin, I definitely got to know Caitlin Clark, because I know there's been a lot of roughhousing there with her lately. Here we go. Okay, and tonight we got 3 games on the dock. We got the drinking on the Majestic tonight not tonight, Thursday. We don't have games tonight, but we have games tomorrow night. We got the Dream taking on the Majestics at 6:30. Dreams going in the game at 12 and 7, and Majestics at 599. Rangers taking on the Suns on Prime Video tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Suns with a 4-15 record and 11-8 record for the Rings. Storm takes on the Mercury, coming in at 5-15 and a 7-13 record. And that game is at 9 p.m. So make sure you check your local times for that, for those games in your local area. And yes, like I said, we have Wimbledon going on. I would say all these names, but I might not pronounce them all correctly. So if you want to check out everything Wimbledon, make sure you have the ESPN app. Here we go, FIBA World Cup. Yes, and I was correct. Team USA, but we'll take on Bonsai Hooks. 7 p.m. on Fox, TL, Fox, Tele, Fox 1 as well. So, yes, I was correct on that one for the 132. That is a 7 o'clock game. I got excuse me, I got a breaking news, just good breaking news from South Carolina. And it looks like Colin Sexton, a former Alabama Colin Sexton, has agreed to a 2-year deal for $19 million with the Lakers. Sources to ESPN and Sports as well. He says the new Lakers deal includes a player option, sources said, and after being finalized by the CAA, Sports Co-Ed of Basketball, Austin Brown, and Matt Sedman. So that's that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, looks like I got another one. Free agent guard Devontae Melton has agreed to a 2-year deal for $11 million deal to return to the Golden State Warriors. Sources tell ESPN and ESPN dealing with sports as well. And there is a player option in the season of his deal as well. That's now, basically. He has that. That is really good. So for this and more, make sure you keep tuning in with ESPN Stone Sports. And of course, me, Samuel. I'll come up with a better name. Yes, because I think the reason I got suspended was because I used the name Doctor and Professor and that. So I'm not going to use those names. I'll come up with a totally different name so I can keep my ex. So I can get my ex back up and keep it from getting suspended again. So, as I let you all go, like I said, have a great 4th of July weekend. Make sure you drink responsibly, and have fun on the beach, on the boat, wherever you're at for the weekend. Happy birthday to America again. And until next time, I'll see you then. And we'll be back tomorrow with Damn Sports with 2 to 3 hours starting tomorrow on a daily show. See you tomorrow. All right, Johnny, we're good. All right, we are good to go. Happy 4th of July, and I do want to thank everyone that has been in our forces. Thank you for serving our country as well. Right, well, as my friend Jimmy gets me off the stream, I'll fill you in on where else is up. Hey, got the Nathan's hot dog eating contest coming up. That's right, on the 4th of July, they always have the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. And yes, they got the ladies contest as well as the men's. And hey, can Joy Chestnut retain the belt after returning last year? We'll find out on the 4th. So, Jimmy, let's get out of here and have a big 4th of July, everybody. Have a good one. All right, Jeremy, let's go. It's time to get off. See you next time, everybody.